Garrett Balls wasn't out there. Is he doing all right?
Yeah, everything's great. Everything's great. It's a voluntary situation, and we want to make sure everybody's good.
What have you seen out of Lloyd Cushenberry so far at that center spot?
Oh, he's done it's funny. We do a lot of different kinds of testing with the guys during meetings. We have these fun Kahoot tests that we like to do, and he wins every one of them when the whole group is in there. And that's a challenge to all the offensive guys because we're all trying to figure out how we can find somebody to beat him. But, I mean, he's doing a great job. His knowledge of the system, understanding of it, gets better every day.
Is that like a quiz thing?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, a lot of your kids probably do them in school. That's where I found it. My kids were doing it in school. It's Kahoot, and you set up it's like bar trivia, but your own personalized one, so it's timed. So the guys get competitive with it, and Cush just dominates. Oh, he's great. I mean, he's a guy that you can do downhill stuff with, like they've done in the past, the inside zone. But, I mean, he can run off the ball. And I think that's something you want to take advantage of. He can reach a shade, which he's shown consistently already up to this point. And I can't wait till we get pads on and see even more. I mean, right now I'm trying not to think about it. We're not game planning against each other. It's a great defense out there, and wherever people match up, that's what happens. And we've gotten after him a couple times, and he made an incredible play last week that was just awesome to see. A great route by Cortland, and he was able to recover. So it's just fun to see the guys get out there and challenge each other every day.
What did you think of his play today that he made the first play out there?
Yeah, we got to fix some things up on offense on that one. We messed that up. We got to keep running on that. But I thought it was a great reactionary play for him, and that's the first pick of the OTAs in the offseason. So we're going to be hearing about that. But that was a hell of a job across the board. Defense is coming along really well. I mean, obviously they played together. They've done a nice job, and it makes us better, makes me better, makes the whole offense better. So it's great to see that competitive nature out there.
Is DJ Jones okay, or is this just voluntary?
Yeah, again, I mean, from my standpoint, this is voluntary. We want the guys to want to come out here and work every day. And but if people have family things, if people don't want to come, I mean, they don't have to. I mean, that's just part of it. Well, I mean, first and foremost, just as a veteran, I mean, the guy's unbelievable. I mean, just as a man, he's played a long time in this league. He's fought through a lot, and he's been very productive. And, he's a very big human being in the middle. I mean, so when he gets a chance to go one-on-one with the center and somebody's trying to get after him, he gets a lot of push through the middle, which is awesome. And he made a great play. I didn't know he could move that fast on an outside zone play that we ran over there to the left. So, I mean, he's doing a great job and brings so much just from his leadership, his experience, and his strength and stoutness in the middle.
Travis Fulgham is a guy who in 2020 with the Eagles had a kind of a moment there for about 5 weeks. I think he was with you guys in Green Bay for about a week before that. What's just your impression of what he can kind of bring if he kind of puts it all together?
Yeah, I mean, he's another guy. I mean, we've got a great room. I mean, that whole room of wide receivers, they're great guys. They all push each other. They all work hard. Travis has done some good things in the league and just needs to be consistent and keep on going and get better every day. And I think that whole room pushes themselves. So I think it'll be great to have him in there.
And how is Kareem back? But now that you've been around him, what does he bring?
Oh, I love me some Kareem. I'm telling you. I love his intensity and competitiveness. I think that's something that shows up every day. You get out there, and, I mean, this is a guy that, I mean, heck, he might be as old as me, but he plays hard every snap. He gets into it. He's talking nonstop. He plays the game like it should be, and I love that about him. And I love, chirping back and forth with him because it just brings that energy and that excitement to practice because that's real football.
How is Baron Browning coming along in his transition to the edge?
I'll tell you, he's done a really fine job. He's somebody that, there were a couple things we saw on tape last year that showed that could potentially be something that he can do, but his ability to bend and lower his hips and round that tackle is something that has stood out a lot on tape. And so it's another rusher on the outside. He's doing a good job.
Does he still factor in for depth on the inside, or is he strictly an edge right now?
I mean, I think that, right now we want him to train at that position on the outside and see where it goes from there. But, I mean, he does have experience there, so I imagine if we got in a pinch, he can easily get back there. But, I mean, we really like what we're doing with him right now.
Coach,
Oh, very confident. I mean, we've been there right by his side throughout this whole thing. I'm glad everything has been resolved, and just time to move forward.
Coach, do you have a philosophy on rookies in terms of how quickly they get a chance to start? Because obviously we see Greg Dulcich out there working plenty with the first unit. So.
Yeah, rookies are rookies. I mean, it's just, you're so excited to have them on your team, and you have so many things that you want to have them do, and you get excited. But in the end, I mean, there's so much adjustment for these young men. I mean, they come in, the speed of the game. I mean, just the playbook by itself. I mean, he came from a completely different system at UCLA. But I think for him, it's just about learning. All these guys, all these rookies. It's how fast can they learn it and how efficient can they be and how long can they go without hitting the wall. So I think that just rookies are roller coaster of emotions.
But you don't have a philosophy like, oh, you have to earn that spot. You're not going to work with the ones. Like if you're a first-round pick, second-round pick,
Look,
a lot of times those guys.
We're going to play the best guys. We're always going to want to put things together for guys, and we want to put them in the best position possible for them. We don't want to put them in a position to fail. We want to put them in a good one, and whatever they can do and as much as they can learn is what we want to try to attack with. Focused. I think, the first play didn't go very well today. And then, he just bounced right back, went right back into it, wasn't phased at all. And I think as a quarterback, kind of like a corner, you have to live, every play. And once that play's over, move on to the next. I mean, it's that simple. And I think that's something I've been able to see him do. And that's why we practice. We practice to be able to find our limitations.
Going to the Avs game tonight?
Right now, no, but god dang, I'm so excited for them. I've been watching the speed of them playing on the ice is unbelievable. I mean, watching them, I'm in my office all by myself, jumping up, cheering, and getting all excited. So it's fun to watch them, and I'm really excited for them. I mean, heck, I don't want to make any predictions or anything like that. But
Do you
be rooting hard.
Do you have a favorite Avs player yet?
Not yet, but I'm just learning about the whole team. I mean, like I said, they're so much fun to watch. I mean, and I have not watched a lot of hockey. For a lot of the places I've been, we haven't had hockey teams, but I mean, it's amazing. Just watching the crowd too is incredible, and all the things that I've heard is just unbelievable. But I'm excited for the game tonight.
Randy Gregory's been out here watching throughout. Are you guys happy with how he's grasping the defense, even though he doesn't participate?
Yeah, no, I'll tell you, he's been great in the meeting room. Gotten us in a couple meetings with that group, and just watching them, how they talk, how they interact with each other is awesome. So, and that's partly him. He's got to find his way to continually learn, and we'll just keep working.
Still on track with his camp?
Yeah, I mean, we'll just keep rolling and see what happens.
Is that still a work in progress for you too? Figuring out how to divide up your meeting room time and where to go each day?
It is, because sometimes I get obviously wanting to coach the quarterback as much as I can, but I'm very lucky to have Clint and have Justin Outen in there, so they're always there. So I know we're on the same page all the time, so it does allow me to free up. But it is kind of fun to get back in the defensive room and see those linebackers work and all that stuff.
Looks like John Anderson's playing tough.
He is. He sure is. Yeah. No, he's doing good, and everybody's rolling.
What he's got there.
Well, he's a big Detroit Piston fan. Remember Bill Lambier, Hamilton, all those guys. So it just was a fun little costume thing that he's got.
Do you have to account for, a lot of times this time of year, play breaks down, the quarterback can spike it, plays over. Russ Wilson, do you have to kind of coach that improvisation and account for that?
Yeah, one thing we want to do is we always want the guys to be ready to extend plays. I mean, he's got so much tape in his past that, sometimes plays don't work out the way that we want them to as a coach, and he makes you look good by running around. So I think that even though there is a potential for a sack in that moment, you never know with him, so we want to try to extend it, and we want to push those DBs back there to have to continually cover, because there's a lot of guys in our little division here that can run around and do some good things. So it benefits everybody, but we want to extend the play and understand how to still find a play.
Is that part of the challenge? Part of the challenge with Russ, because like with Rodgers, he got sort of getting ball even quicker with you there, getting rid of the ball, and wasn't necessarily extending plays maybe because of his arm strength. With Russ, is it a little more nuanced because of the fact he will extend plays? And
I think both of the guys is a combination. I mean, there's really not they're two different kinds of quarterbacks. But I think that once you're in a system, in a precision system like we are, and you start understanding it and learning it and being more confident with the players around you, you're able to get that ball out quicker and understand where you're going to go within the progression and the read. So I think that's just about practicing. But, I mean, heck, even when it might work out perfect, some one thing might break down. So I think it's always great to practice, and it's always a positive play, even if you extend it.
When you're not scheming against each other, how are you still working on sort of like what Russell's looking at the line of scrimmage?
Oh, yeah.
The ability to, how does that look?
Yeah, we always have a process exactly how we go about it, regardless of who we're playing, because, you can go into a game and think you're going to get something, and you get something completely different. So there's always kind of a checklist that he goes at the line. And so we're always talking about that, always communicating that. And especially now, it's like our whole playbook is in. So we have every single play at any moment, any formation, any personnel grouping, compared to a game week when there's a small amount. Same thing with Ajero. You know, he goes out there and he's got his whole playbook out there. So we don't know what they're going to throw at us. And it's just about reacting and not necessarily trying to pick the perfect plays, but just kind of learn the systems and learn the goods and bads of each play.
We saw Cooper come out here with a little club or something on his left hand, Jonathan Cooper.
Yeah.
Prognosis for him.
Yeah, no, he had a little surgery there, and he'll be back for training camp.